In Chapter 47, Those Led Now Lead, our friends are left to their own devices in Mukmu, having been officially released from Jillian's employ. Beezaura heads straight to the Scalehouse to question the barkeep VK on the chess drawing some mysterious customers left behind.
But that group that had the drawing, they've started showing back up. Came in each of the last 2 nights. I heard one of them say, "We waited too long."
What time do they usually come by?
Supper time. 7. 8 o'clock.
I might be in the mood for another bowl of soup.
Graven investigates the disappearance of the Goliath Lady Sangre-La, who vanished from his side days ago.
I don't know Lady Sangre-La terribly well personally.
Where did she come from before she lived here? Her family?
I believe she comes from one of the Goliath tribes up north, but other than that...
What tribe?
I don't know.
Graven leaves the missionary Solomon's home quickly after receiving few leads and struggling to contain his god Kuuzni's indignation for members of the Lakafuyu. Meanwhile, Erland and Orba follow up on Josko's lead for a GGG First Edition, a Mukmu citizen named Micah Denholm.
I believe we have a mutual friend in Josko Tibbets. You may grant us access to your basement library. We're looking for a specific book.
I've no idea what that is, and I don't have a basement library.
Realizing that they may have been misled by either Josko or Beezaura, who passed that message and the sword hilt along, Erland and Orba concede and head to the Lakeside Inn, where Orba hopes to consult the medium Dr. Veto, but first they run into Safira.
Look, I really don't know exactly how useful it is, but these points on this map mark out all the sort of underground or entrances to underground areas in Mukmu. In theory, this is a map of sort of how people have been moving, contraband through the city.
Or it could just be a hole.
Unsure of how safe and time-efficient investigating the 21 holes of Mukmu would be, the three agree to bring it up to the full group later. Safira heads out, and Orba finally sits down with Dr. Veto to discuss the spirit that keeps offering her white flowers.
The fact that it took on a physical form for you to hold the flower tells me that it believes that this innocence is shared between the two of you. Most of the time when you see a white flower, it's because the spirit was killed unjustly, or saw some terrible things in its lifetime. But when the flower is given, it's because it does not want you to repeat its mistakes. You were able to find a way to directly communicate with the spirit and summon it. I might be able to speak to it.
Meanwhile, on the second floor of the Lakeside Inn sits Beezaura, occupying a rented room alone, investigating a newly obtained item given to her by Josko Tibbets.
There's only one thing to do before anyone else shows up. Let's see what this is about. And I'm gonna open my bag and take out the copy of GGG.
Okay. You do so.
What?
Yeah.
And open it to, I know the page, right?
Yeah, you have the page.
And I'm going to open it to 216.
216.
Beezaura flips open Grimari's Giant Grimoire First Edition to page 216 and finds another hidden message within the text, Oranchupa bound. She immediately drafts a letter to be sent to First Spear Polnick of the Oranchupa militia.
There is Myconid research headed your way. There are further analysis happening in Oranchupa, and also a transport of possibly someone they are imprisoning to help them. Please take care, a friend.
Beezaura runs into Erland and Orba not much later and finally confesses that she has the book that Erland's been seeking.
I've just opened it now, and I've already taken action.
We almost broke in to Micah Denholm's house, which would have put her at risk. Whether or not you care about me is irrelevant.
I didn't know what the book did, Erland.
Yes, that was
So
intentional.
I was curious and didn't want to tell you about it at first.
Beezaura, it's how we're trying to communicate with Marvin. He's trapped, and that is the only way that he is able to communicate with us.
He's on his way to Yarnchupa.
What do you mean, what?
When all is said and done, our friends meet at the Scalehouse and try to coordinate their plans.
We work well together. Yeah? Maybe not always, and, maybe not on everything. But as far as a team of fighters, we're actually, fairly good. At least at protecting one another.
Orba confesses that she's a former servant from the Halls of Transmutation trying to get to Navikapura. Safira wants to follow extract leads in Tuktu and up north. Same goes for Beezaura and her chess pieces. Graven needs to get to Finlock Forest for some unmentioned bounty, and Erland is a free monk agent seeking a new contract.
And with some tentative plans drawn up, that is where we're going to end for the evening.
Oh my god.
Which stop will be first as our friends set off on their new adventures? What obstacles lurk behind every turn? And will this very practical relationship between these 5 weirdos blossom into something more along the way? Find out next time on Tabletop Notch.